Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
You are now listening to the Behind the Mic radio show from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill in Champaign, Illinois. Presented by Ford of Tuscola. Here's your host, Keith Gibson.
Welcome to the Behind the Mic show from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill, presented by Ford of Tuscola. I am your host, Keith Gibson. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to have my co-host, Sam Erwin, join me a little bit later. We'll talk NFL draft, NBA playoffs, and summer grilling food, so you'll want to make sure you tune in for that. We've also got another guest coming on just right after this quick break we're going to take in a couple minutes, and he's going to talk about his life and what it's been like around me for the last 38 years. It's a pretty special little segment, so I hope you enjoy that. But we're going to take a quick break here from our sponsor, Ford of Tuscola. Hey, if you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, new or pre-owned, go down and see Bob, John, Doug, and the entire crew down there at Ford of Tuscola. Great guys, great dealership, great service department as well. They got great financing and great deals going all the time. So make sure you stop down there. Tell them you heard about them and saw about them on Behind the Mic. They might even cut you a better deal, because that's what they do down there at Ford of Tuscola. So we're going to take a quick break here from them, and we'll be back right after these messages. Behind the Mic show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
Here at Ford of Tuscola, we offer superior sales and service for our valued customers, and we are committed to serving you. Our inventory consists of a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, including the Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck. Come see why Ford is the brand that more people buy and buy again. Ford of Tuscola, Central Illinois' vehicle sales and service destination, located on US 36 in Tuscola, Illinois. Find your dream vehicle here at Ford of Tuscola. Ready, set, let's ride.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Behind the Mic show right here from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill. We are episode 5 of Behind the Mic, and I've got a special guest with me today, a very special one. He's a two-time 5K finisher and the current world heavyweight champion, other than my father, downtown Bosco. Woo! Pop! We got a lot to talk about today on Behind the Mic. Welcome. This is your first time on the show.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I've been waiting.
I know you have. Finally up to visit. You got to see your little one, the granddaughter. You know, my daughter Kendall, and we'll talk. We're going to talk sports today.
Okay, I'm into it.
You're perfect. We're going to talk about your favorite thing, and that's not chicken.
Oh,
that's not Hucks.
I thought it was groceries.
Groceries, yes. Everybody likes groceries. We're going to talk about the Cubs.
Okay,
Let's start with the Cubs, and then we'll talk a little wrestling. How's that sound? Perfect. Hey, we're going to talk about the Cubs here, Dad. Been on a hot streak lately. Played some good baseball lately.
Yeah,
but still the pitching's not there.
It still ain't there. We still need bullpen help bad.
I agree with you. Bullpen has been a big issue. It was all off season. It's been an issue still. I mean, we kind of resurrected here during the hot streak when we played wetter baseball. But, we're still sitting back in the division, and the bullpen's still not there.
Hey, we're still 2 games out with what we got, so I think we're going to give us time. It's only April.
That's right. It's only April, and as Cub fans, we know that full well that there's a lot of baseball left to play, Pop. And you and I have been to Wrigley many years.
Exactly.
In a row, 34, I believe it is, to be exact. I got to take a tour last year at Wrigley.
Oh, that was the most nicest thing I've ever done. That was awesome.
What was your favorite part of the tour?
Getting in the dugout.
The dugout, that's right. We got to sit in the dugout, and if you haven't seen the picture, you can always go to cheapseatsbar.com. There's pictures of it up there, and see those. But, Pop, my favorite part of that whole tour, and if you haven't done the tour of Wrigley, whether you're a Cub fan or not, if you're a baseball fan, it is absolutely awesome. Mine was going to the visitors clubhouse.
That was awesome.
I mean, you just got chills. I mean, you got to think of guys who dressed in there: Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth, Maris, Mantle. I mean, guys who have set legendary things, and Stan Musial for you Cardinal fans. Stan Musial was in there. You sit in there and you could just feel it. Not just that, but Buckus.
I sat in the same chair that maybe Willie May sat on.
That's right. It was pretty cool. So one thing I'm glad you and I got to do together, but getting back to the Cubs, Chris Bryant's not hitting. Rizzo's not really hitting. Jason Hayward's hitting, though. About time.
He is earning his money this year, finally.
Finally. But yes, pitching. Hendricks didn't have a great outing here the other night. But we played better baseball. We beat the Dodgers, took 2 or 3. I'll take that. As long as we keep winning series, we'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. You ain't going to sweep. If you get 2 out of 3 every time, you're great.
That's why you got the world champ, right?
That's right.
That's right. But hey, we're having fun. It is Cubs baseball season. It's Cardinal baseball season. Cardinals are, top of the division right now.
They're playing good ball too, but that ain't gonna last.
What do you say that?
Because they got a left fielder named Ozuna. He couldn't play slow pitch.
So we had a fun night Saturday night, or excuse me, Friday night. Dad and I did the 5K here in Champaign for the Christie Clinic Memorial Marathon, and second time, 2 years in a row.
2 years.
And we improved on our time.
And we finished.
And we finished twice, 2 years in a row. Can you believe that? Two guys out of shape. Let's talk about our training we did.
Oh, training was great.
Oh, I tell you what, it was rough, wasn't it?
Oh, especially with the pre-training at Houlihan's.
The pre-training.
We couldn't hardly get that in.
No, it was tough. It was busy. It was trying to get around all those people, trying to train and get that cold, ice cold Bud Light in our hands.
I couldn't have done it without it.
Well, it was motivation, wasn't it?
Yes.
I tell you what else was motivation. The scenery.
Oh, the scenery was great. And people were so nice to everybody there.
They were. And the scenery was fantastic. We had a great time. We finished 56 minutes and 42 seconds.
Is that awesome or not?
Yeah, hey, you know what? We weren't first.
No.
We weren't last.
No, we weren't.
But we finished. That's all that matters. So 2 years ago, if you haven't done it yet, it's a great time. The biggest 5K they've done ever was this year. And so it was a great time. We had a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll do it next year. Hopefully, my wonderful wife, Lori, will be able to do it with us next year as well. So let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit about maybe some wrestling. You know anything about wrestling?
I think I've done it a couple of times.
You do?
Yeah.
Is that how you got the belt?
That's it. I'm the world heavyweight champion.
And you tell everybody about it, don't you?
Yes. Everybody wants me to come back and try to do a rematch, but I said, no, that was a one-time deal. My body can't do it no more.
Well, I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I'm right with you. And I don't want to take the belt from my old man. I mean, I just can't do it.
It couldn't happen because I pitched two guys in one night.
That's true. I mean, it
took me 5 minutes.
Well, you had a bullhorn too.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a fun night. We were glad we did it. And forever, you're going to be the world heavyweight champion.
And the crowd never seen it coming.
No, they didn't. It was a great time. But let's talk about wrestling. You watch Raw. You watch SmackDown a little bit. You don't watch much NXT, do you?
No, never have.
No, it's all right. What do you think of Raw lately?
It ain't good.
Well, just be honest. What do you really think about it?
It stinks.
It stinks. It does.
SmackDown is worse.
I don't know about that, Pop.
It's terrible. It is terrible.
It's not like the olden days.
No, it ain't like the Bill Dundee, Jerry the King Lawler.
Bill Dundee, that's 30 years ago.
And I'm going to tell you about Bill Dundee. I got a hold of him the other day. He's owning a furniture store in Owensboro, Kentucky. And if you come in, you buy a couch, you get a free picture of Bill Dundee.
Well, I mean, what could be better than that?
He's 78 years old, but he's still looking good.
Is that like you?
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. You're world champ. You look good. What do you miss about wrestling compared to the old stuff to the new stuff? What do you miss?
Too much talking in the new stuff. The old stuff they got in there and they wrestled and it was good. Now it's just same people. And you got one guy build up, and back then you had wrestling. Now I'm gonna say it's more fake than it ever has been. I hate to say it, but it is.
You just call wrestling fake?
Yes, I did. It is.
Chop you for that.
I'm going to give you the bionic elbow right there, and you're going down.
Hey, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about some wrestling. I know. What's your favorite guy right now?
Right now, my favorite.
Or what's your favorite wrestler, I should say? Is it a woman? Is it a man?
No, my favorite wrestler has always been Jerry the King Lawler.
Lawler doesn't wrestle.
That's okay. He's still the man.
Why is he the man?
Because he is. Always will be.
Now, we've taken some trips down to Evansville to watch wrestling. Cars break down, walk along the interstate.
Yeah, that was a fun night for fans.
I wasn't too happy about that night.
No, I wasn't either.
Well, none of us were. It was a great night. But that's what wrestling used to be to both of us. That's how I grew up on wrestling. That's how I came to love it. But that was fun back then.
I've watched it since I've been 9 years old.
That was 75 years ago. No, I'm kidding. It's been a while.
It was almost 60 years ago.
Yeah, it had.
But me and my friends grew up watching it. That's what we did.
When you were growing up, what was your favorite guy?
Dick the Bruiser.
Why Dick the Bruiser?
Because he was the meanest wrestler there was. He's the one that started a riot in New York City and got barred.
Well, that happens.
And his cousin, the Crusher.
The Crusher?
Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher, the world's best tag team I've ever seen.
Why were they great?
Because they won everything. They beat the heck out of everybody. And they drank beer.
It's predetermined, right?
No. Back then it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only predetermined is when they got done, they got to get drunk.
Well, that's true. How Flair's still alive, I don't know.
I don't either. Harley Race, people like that.
Or they're all. But that was when they lived their characters.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, that's when it was fun. I remember going to Clay County Fair. Macho Man Randy Savage was there.
Baker.
Yeah, we used to go down to Fairfield High School. They have wrestling there, you know. One Man Gang was there, and Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers.
That's
you know,
right. They were all there.
That was things in my childhood that I absolutely enjoyed, and I just don't see that in wrestling. It's now more. It is entertainment now.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's too much talking now.
So the people watching, they really want to know. One question from the world champ. What's it like working at Huck's?
It's great. The people love you. And when I come back, you wouldn't believe the people come in about broke their necks. You couldn't believe it.
Oh, mercy.
How
hard do you really work?
Oh, it's hard. The hardest part is
making the coffee.
I don't even have to do that no more. So the hardest part is staying awake. That's the hard part.
The hard part is staying awake.
But all my female fans come in and they want to hug again. Good to see you. And
well, everybody wants to hug the champ.
That's right, always.
Oh my goodness. So Dad, what's one thing you could tell our viewers and everybody watching that was one of your most fondest childhood memories besides having me?
Oh, childhood memories was going to Wrigley Field every day for $1 to sit in the grandstand and $3 for a box seat. But I went there all the time. They weren't very good back then, but you still.
Well, they weren't good until the last few years.
That's right. But
you had 90. Awesome. You had 89. 89 was one of my favorite teams. 84 was a great team. 93.
And when I was growing up back then in Chicago, I was growing up. Everybody was Blackhawk fans. It was all about hockey, and the White Sox. The White Sox were awesome in the '60s, but they just couldn't get past the Yankees.
Well, they're not any good now.
No, but they were back in the '60s when I was still living up there. They were the team in Chicago.
So I don't know if many people know that about you, Pop. Is the fact that you grew up in Chicago.
That's right. Right there, about a mile from Cubs Farm.
And you moved from Chicago to Reinard, Illinois.
Yeah.
And folks, if you don't know where Reinard, Illinois is, look it up on a map. You may find it. You might.
Have you ever watched that show, Green Acres? Well, that's what I thought I was doing. I said, where is this place? I go from 6 million people to 100.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hey, I'm glad you did because look what you got.
That's right.
You got this. You got this side by side with you. But no,
that's what I'm saying.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Okay. And you didn't know I was gonna do this, so this is gonna be completely up. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops in your head.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Taco. No, really, hot dogs.
I was gonna say you don't like
hot dogs.
Hot dogs. How many hot dogs could you eat at a time?
I used to eat about 6 or 7, but now I can just eat 3. But if you have those pigs in a blanket, I could eat about 6.
Pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
For everybody out there, tell everybody what pigs in a blanket is.
It's a hot dog and a biscuit.
That's right.
But I'm gonna tell you a story one time about hot dogs. Years ago, Florida first got Big John's. When they first come to Florida,
it's a grocery store.
They had this deal, and you get like 20 hot dogs in a bag, small ones, and I ate every one of them. I bought a bag.
Now people understand where I get it from. Naturally. All right. Next question. Who's your favorite baseball player growing up?
Ernie Banks.
Okay. What's your fondest memory of me?
Going to spring training.
Okay. Well, great trip. If you haven't been to spring training, we took it as a father-son trip. It was the best day. Now, a lot of walking.
Yeah.
But the best week we've ever spent together. Hands down, it was awesome. Going to see guys who were, there was Eloy Jimenez was there when he was with the Cubs, Ian Happ.
Starting out.
These guys, Schwarber was there, guys who were just starting out before. This was 2016, so it was a year of the World Series. I have a feeling that we brought the championship.
Right. And we got Ryan Sandberg's autograph.
Right, we got to meet Rhino, hang out with him, get his autograph, and so it was pretty awesome. In fact, if I turn my shoulder this way, there he is, right there.
That's right.
So Rhino, great guy, and then he's actually was up at Bricks and Ivy Sports Saturday signing autographs. So Bricks and Ivy up in Houston, if you haven't been up there, great store, great owners, fantastic people, and hopefully we can have them on and talk to them here soon. So, okay, a couple other questions. If you go to one place, visit one place, where would it be?
Notre Dame.
Why?
Because I want to see the stadium. That's history. I met Rudy But now I want to see where he played.
So I guess we need to make that a priority then,
That's
you and
what
I,
I'm
don't you?
thinking.
Oh, it sounds like our timer's up. So we're gonna wrap this up. One more quick question.
Okay.
Okay, if you win the lottery, how much money do I get?
100,000.
Are you tight ass?
Yeah, I am. No, you get $1 million.
I get $1 million. So if you won 500 million, you give me $1 million. No, it's good.
I might give you
What's
two.
the one thing you want to do if you win the lottery?
I want to go to every ballpark in Major League.
That's why we're baseball fans,
Right.
folks. All right, Pop. I appreciate you joining us today,
Right.
and we had some fun. Don't shit your pants.
Just don't forget I'm the world heavyweight champion.
That's right. The world heavyweight champion today, tomorrow, and forever.
And I'm still undefeated.
Unfortunately, you are.
Yeah.
We may have to change that someday. But hey, this is Behind the Mic, episode 5. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. Sam Erwin will join me. We'll talk NFL draft. We're going to talk the NBA playoffs and a whole bunch more different sports topics to keep you entertained. Pop, always a pleasure to have you on
Hey,
here.
I'm glad I was here.
You're lucky you were here.
He's lucky I showed up.
Well, that's
all
true,
you can
too.
say.
That's true.
I got a tight schedule.
Yeah, real tight when you're retired.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after these quick messages here on the Behind the Mic show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
Check out the all-new Ford of Tuscola. It's a small-town feel with great big deals. Pre-owned vehicles starting at $24.95. Online at FordofTuscola.com or call 217-253-3353.
Welcome back, everybody, to Behind the Mic show, episode 5 from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill. Joining me, as always, my co-host this week and almost every week. Almost. Erwin, the great one's here with me again. We're going to talk the Fast 5 here, the 5 hottest topics, and let's start this over. I can't dip it. I've got Bosco in me. All right, here we go.
All right.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Mic show right here from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill. Keith Gibson, your host, as always. And with me, my co-host this week. No, it's not Downtown Bosco, the world champion. It's the man he pinned, the great one, Sam Erwin. Sam's back here for our first.
I was cheated. I was cheated. You know it.
No, I never saw. I didn't see it. Did you see it? I was knocked out, Bullhorn.
Never saw it coming.
No, and he still tells everybody he's a world champ.
Well, he is. It's not
Thanks,
lying.
my old man, Downtown Bosco, for joining us here earlier. And Sam, you missed a fun time story about hot dogs.
Oh, okay.
20
Well, I
hot dogs in 20 hot dogs in one city.
Oh, that's actually lower than I would have expected.
Right. But Sam and I are going to talk about the Fast 5. We're going to talk about the 5 hottest topics in sports going on right now. And we'll start, Sammy, with one of the hottest topics that just got done last weekend, and well, this weekend, I guess, and Thursday, Friday, and what the spectacle it was in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
And that's the NFL draft. And if you're a bachelorette party, apparently you weren't too happy that it was there.
Yeah, good thing they don't give people a year's notice of, hey, this is where we're going. So.
But the NFL draft happened Thursday and Friday, and Sam, we were texting back and forth during the first round, and we were both like, ooh. The New York Giants took Daniel Jones in the first round, Sam. You texted me and said, WTF, and if you don't know what that means, look it up. But
yeah.
That's just I've done a lot of calls that have been stretches. So that's a stretch.
Oh, yeah, that is a Stretch Armstrong type stretch there. I mean, that goes for a ways. And nothing against the kid. And, as we know with the draft, it's always 50-50. You never know. Some look like there's very few that I've watched the history watching the draft that were no doubters. A couple that come to mind are like Peyton Manning, maybe an Andrew Luck, just because they're both maybe local. But also when you've seen them, you're like, you have to pick these guys. It's no doubt you have to pick these guys. But when it comes to somebody like a Daniel Jones, it's like, number one that I didn't understand with the Giants is, okay. If you want your guy, you want your guy. That's fine. There was something about him that they really liked. I get it. And maybe Eli had some say in that. I don't know, because they work out together. They have the same college coach. There's those things that are involved. But if you're picking 6 and you pick a guy that really nobody else wanted, and he was predicted way later in the first round.
It's great.
Yeah. I was going to say, either get somebody that really helps your team in another area you need, because obviously if you pick this kid with the Giants, he's not starting for the next 2 or 3 years. Did you really need to waste a 6th pick on a guy that's going to start 3 years from now? I know.
Listen, when you have holes, they have holes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Except for running back.
Yeah. they're saying like, well, maybe it's like an Aaron Rodgers thing with Brett Favre. That kid's nowhere near as talented as Aaron Rodgers. You know, it's like, come on now, you know. But once again, these guys got a plan in place. They know what they're doing. That's why we're sitting here doing this. They obviously are far more intelligent than us, I guess. But at the same time, if you got the 6th pick, that pick has to play right now, especially if you're New York Giants and you're terrible, and you have been for a while. You got to get somebody that's a game changer right now. And
you just traded away Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns for those picks. It boggled my mind. So that was one of the mind blowers of the first round.
Like I'm doing now, just shaking my head like, what in the world is that?
Were you okay with Kyler Murray being the first overall at number 1 when they had Josh Rosen already there in Arizona?
Yeah, I have, as you and I have talked many times before we started doing this, is I have a real problem unless it's a no doubter like a Peyton Manning or somebody that you see as NFL spending a first-round pick on a quarterback. It better be the be-all, end-all, and they just picked up. Now, he's extremely talented, right? He's extremely talented. I get that. And, you know, applause for the short guys because he's like 5'10", all right? And he's an incredible athlete. I get that.
He is.
The Heisman. He is really good. But as we've found out, there's a huge leap from college to pros. He's not playing against Big 12 defenses anymore. He's playing against real defenses. And but it's got to be a no-doubter like a Peyton Manning for me to say, okay, yeah, I get it. Spend this pick on this kid. And you've got Josh Rosen, who you've only given a year or two. You don't know what he's going to end up being. He wasn't the best in the world, but he's playing on a bad team, but he wasn't god-awful terrible. So it's like you just picked him 10th last year. Now you spend another pick. Now, granted, new coaches. I get that. But it's like kind of a stretch again.
Yeah, I agree with you on some stages, especially with the new coaches, Cliff Kingsbury in there now, former Texas Tech guy, who had a great college career.
He did. But, and damn, he's a good-looking man. I mean, let's not leave. I mean, just a good-looking man, right?
I don't know where it's going. Anyway, I'm not sure if that was the right pick because you've got Larry Fitzgerald, who's in the twilight of his career. Right. You still got David Johnson, who's a great running back. Mm-hmm. Why not trade back a little bit? There's plenty of talent in this draft. I think they should have traded that pick. I was full on for it to get more holes to fill, make your team better by getting a boatload of maybe draft picks, 4 or 5, or somebody in return that you can. But I just, that was another head shaker for me.
Yeah,
I was surprised in the first round how many offensive and defensive linemen went.
Mm-hmm. Took a look a little bit, you know, to get to them. Yeah, and there seemed like there's a lot more defensive guys taken this year, which I think is smart. Yeah, I think that's smart to get. You need to build from the inside out. I've always seen the successful teams seem like they build from the inside out. And because here's the bottom line. If you're Kyler Murray, you're 5'10", good thing you can run because you're going to be running for your life. And it doesn't matter, as I have learned myself, if you don't have really good people up in front of you, it doesn't matter how well you throw a football because it's hard to throw from your back.
You had a great offensive line.
I did. My junior year, absolutely. I did and there was a difference. I was in a lot less pain my junior year than I was my senior year. And but, yeah, you have to have that great offensive line, and then you worry about skill players, you know, and defense as well. Defense wins championships, as we know. So, you know, I mean, that Kyler Murray's a great athlete. I think he's going to be okay, but –
one thing you and I both agreed on, we talked about draft night together, and Ian Wilson actually texted me and said we should have done a live draft show.
I mean, so 5 people could watch this again?
Yeah, you know, it couldn't be any worse than Chris Mortensen. But one thing we talk about draft night is the time between picks. You've got all those people there, and you even said there's an A, B, and C. You know who you're taking in that first round. If he's not there, this guy's there. Go 5 minutes. Let's keep this. I mean, it was 10:30, and they were on pick 22. There were still several picks to go, and I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you said it right. Those guys have a battle plan, if you will, that they've got their guys listed, who they want at what position, all that. They've got emergency plans if their top guy is gone. They've also got plans in place of what can we trade, when can we trade. You know, it's all mapped out. If it's not, then my God. But you need to have those plans in place. But, yeah, it's way too long. And I get it that maybe in the first round, I get it that it's longer because, once again, the NFL, you got a lot more eyes watching. You sell those ads. That's where the money's at. But also it's time for trades and to work things out and around. I get that. But come second round and beyond, move
2
it
minutes.
along. Yeah, move it along. Bang, bang, bang.
Were you amazed how many people were actually in Nashville? Because I was. That crowd was unbelievable. when they
Yeah,
panned up and just went block after
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
after block after
Yep.
block after block after
Yeah.
block. Yeah. And you get and
Yeah,
just
it's
elbow to a-hole of
Oh.
people. I mean, they were scrunched in, and
Mhm.
would it be fun? Yeah, I think it'd be a blast. But at the same time, it started raining on them too, and they're outside. And but when you're there,
and not a soul left.
you probably don't really care because you've had enough at the honky tonks and
Mhm.
to have enough to drink to stay warm.
Yeah. They said the estimates were anywhere from 200,000 to 300,000 people
That's
to
crazy.
watch a college kid get picked to put on a pro team that you got 1 out of 32 chances that it's yours. So you stand there for 3 or 4 hours. But once again, they've done a great job. Love or hate the NFL, they have done a fantastic job of promoting themselves. Love or hate Roger Goodell, you want to know why he keeps a job? Is because he knows how to promote the brand, and they're making money. That's
right.
Boo him all you want, and that's fine. Because just like in professional wrestling, guess who brings in a lot of money? A great heel does too. So yeah, that's right. But they've done a great job of selling it. It gets everybody that we know is tuned in. You got to watch it, even if you don't really care. At the same time, I mean, yeah, you're a fan, but at the same time, it's like, but like the Bears, they didn't even have a first-round pick or a second, yet we're still watching. But yeah, they've done a great job promoting that. 200,000 to 300,000 people just show up and stand in the street and watch for a kid's name to get announced. And like I said, it's a big spectacle anymore.
A party.
Yeah. I mean, we know that it's all about, it's a show. It's a party. It's a show. It's now we're introducing this old guy. They do a good job of bringing in older players to stay in touch with the teams. And you've seen a lot of people that flew in just because they are super fans.
Speaking of, I posted it on cheapseatsbar.com Facebook page. Maybe the greatest draft pick announcement I've ever seen. And Pat McAfee, have you had a chance to watch that yet?
No, I haven't had a chance to
You
watch
should.
it.
It is the greatest. And go to cheapseatsbar.com Facebook page and watch it. It's magical. And Pat McAfee now working for the WWE. So it's fantastic. It was almost a promo, and it was fantastic. And so go there and watch it. So transition, you just said about the Bears. Bears pick up a running back mid rounds from Iowa State. Don't know much about him.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's why they have scouts.
Yeah.
I mean, they pour over film.
I trust Nagy. I trust what he's doing. They've got Khalil Mack. They've got a great defense. And so we'll see. Hey, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, when you don't have a lot of picks, I mean, obviously the Bears have built themselves with their draft picks through trades. So when you get a Khalil Mack, that's a home run #1 pick, obviously, that paid huge dividends.
Yeah.
So, so you can't really blame them for trading him, all those picks for him. That worked out really well. And that's kind of how you got to celebrate, okay, we don't have much this year, but we got Khalil Mack, who's going to be an all-pro for maybe
several years to come.
Yeah. So
yeah, agreed. All right, well, so moving transition from the NFL draft, which was I always enjoy the draft. I know you do too.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least the first and second round. After that,
yeah. Then after that, I'm bored. But yeah.
Let's talk NBA playoffs. I haven't watched a single game. You
watch some highlights? Yeah, watch some highlights. As we know, you and I, everybody knows we're huge LeBron James fans. Well, guess what? For the first time in 13 years, LeBron James is not in the playoffs, and I just don't care because I don't follow the NBA. I follow players. And LeBron's one of the big ones. And also, as you've probably read, the ratings are in the toilet for the NBA playoffs right now. Nobody's watching. Granted, that's because it's first round too, and those are just kind of not really exciting games. Yeah. But, with LeBron being out, I just don't care. Like I say, I've seen some highlights. For instance, I saw where, Damian Lillard for the Portland Trail Blazers hit that big-time three from about 40 feet.
Boy, I tell you what.
Space.
If that wasn't Keith Gibson reincarnated, I don't know what was.
That's your range. Absolutely. Once you cross half court. Yeah. Now here's my question to you. It's been debated back and forth amongst the, real pros that are really know NBA, like Stephen A. Smith and all that, But good shot or bad shot?
It went in, didn't it?
Exactly. There's no such thing as a bad shot if it goes in. So I don't care if it's a hook shot. That's a great shot. I remember it was a awards banquet. I was in 7th grade, basketball awards banquet. Larry McGrew's giving his speech.
30 years.
Yeah, long time. So Larry McGrew's giving his speech for the 8th graders, right? So you got to buckle in because it's going to be a while. And he's talking his speech about, it was Nick Ashley at the time. Nick Ashley was a superstar stud 8th grade. And but Nick kind of did what he wanted to do. There wasn't a lot of coaching. He was just, I'll just take the ball and go. And he threw up this prayer one time, and Larry McGrew said, he goes, oh, it's a charity. He goes, oh, no, Nick. And he goes, great shot. because it went in. So there's no such thing as a bad shot. Whereas
Right.
Paul George was the one that said it, that, the history will show that was a bad shot. No, history's going to show that you just got a 3 shot right in your face to end the series is what that's going to show. And it wasn't his fault. It was great defense. How far are you supposed to guard a guy out, So
with LeBron out, ratings are in the tube. You and I aren't watching at all. Other playoffs going on are hockey. Moving on.
All right.
Blues are in.
Now, you and I both said that hockey's a lot of fun to go watch in person.
Oh.
But how people watch that on TV, I can't do
It's
it.
one of the most. I've been to a couple Blues games. I've been to a couple Blackhawks games. Absolutely one of the best live events I've ever been to, hands down. I'm serious about that. I love going to
Oh yeah,
pro hockey games.
right. It's fun.
But I cannot watch it on TV to save my. Now some people can't watch golf. I can sit and watch golf for hours.
Right.
I can't watch hockey on TV. But the playoffs are going on, so go Blues, go Blackhawks.
Right. Go. All right. Yay. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, transitioning a little bit, we'll talk a little bit of wrestling here real quick. You and I are always wrestling fans. We like to get it in. Booze and I talked about it in an earlier segment. He said Jerry the King Lawler was his favorite still.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And apparently Bill Dundee has a furniture store down in Kentucky or Tennessee.
Oh.
And you get an autographed 8x10 if you buy furniture.
Ooh, I got to find out where that's at. Superstar Bill Dundee. Are you kidding? Oh, he was awesome.
70-some years old. But anyway, ratings are in the toilet for WWE as well. It's been awful since WrestleMania. This is the time where new things are happening. The Superstar shakeup. It didn't do a thing for anybody or anyone.
They ruined that too. Yep, they ruined that too.
I don't know what your opinion is. I think it sucks right now. I think they need to hire you and I to write.
Anything. You know what? Like we've said before, it all comes back to, number one, not yet, but there's no competition. There's one coming, supposedly, but how long can they hang on? It's kind of like the NFL was supposed to have competition with the old AAF. That's how that turned out. Yeah, they couldn't even finish the season. So if you're going to go up, like what's that old saying? If you're going to take out the king, you better not miss. Well, AAF missed because you got to have a bunch of money. And this new wrestling that's coming, that guy's got a bunch of money, but how much of his own money is he willing to spend?
I actually think it will be AEW, All Elite Wrestling with Cody Rhodes and Jericho
and all that.
Yeah. I think it will not give the WWE a run for their money, but I think it'll give people an alternative, which will put some pressure on.
I hope at least it'll get them to try. And that's the thing is they're just, as I was saying earlier, there's no reason to try because there's no competition.
Right.
It's like, we'll put the show out because the little kids are watching. They're going to watch regardless, and they're selling shirts. The money's still good. Did you see where WWE took a major hit on the stock market this past week?
Yeah, because first quarter earnings came out and they were $50 billion short. Do you see what their best program was?
SmackDown?
No.
NXT. Oh, what a surprise.
Surprise. Yeah, surprise. For wrestling fans out there, that's no surprise.
No, it is not.
The best show they have going today. And you haven't watched it, tune in to the WWE Network and watch NXT. But other than that, there's really not much to talk about in WWE right now. It's awful. There's, no. The Money in the Bank's coming up. They moved it from June to May this year. We went last year. Great time. Well, NXT was great.
NXT was great.
Yeah. Money in the Bank was But anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about WWE today. Congratulations, everybody. You don't get a
Yeah, there's just not much going on.
So one thing I do want to talk about, and I know he's a near and dear friend to you and near and dear friend to me, and that's Brian Tackett, head coach of the Floor High School baseball team.
Big smacker. That's right.
Brian Tackett, but he's the head coach of the Floor Wolves baseball team. It's where we grew up. But every year they do an autism awareness game. And you'll see in the highlights down below here in just a second that they have a big crowd for it. And I think it's one of the most awesome things they do all year. And I just wanted to take a second and give kudos to Coach Tackett, Floor High School, and the entire baseball program there for doing that every year. And I do appreciate. Got a new hat, Sammy, a new Floor Wolves hat. First Coach Tackett.
Well, I was going to say nice things, but I didn't get a hat, so I guess I won't.
Well, that's typical.
No. And I've seen, of course, the Facebook posts. I know he and his sister do a lot with that, and it's such an awesome thing. It really is, because one, you're making, if not, the main kid feel great, to be a part of something, but there's several other kids that benefit from all this. I know they raise a lot of money for different things, and if nothing else, I've known Tackett for a long time, and so have you. Tackett has always been a great person. He's a lot of fun. Yeah, huge heart. bless his heart's bigger than his brain, like Cousin Eddie. But no, in all seriousness, he is a great person. He went back to his hometown, became a teacher and a coach, and, he also coaches football, as we know. And I think Tackett, obviously we're competitors. Tackett was a competitor and all that. But the thing that I like most about him is, yes, winning is important. And, and I know it's been kind of a struggle, especially in football, building that program, trying to get it to where it needs to be. And it's a struggle because it's just different anymore than it used to be, especially a small town. You don't have a ton of talent coming your way. You got good kids, looks like, and they work hard. It's hard in a small town. But what he has done is he has put the important things first.
Exactly right.
That's what a lot of people don't get about sports and why we like sports. A lot of times, we like the competition and all that, but there's so much more to sports. It's the story. It's the good stories, the way they make you feel coming out. And if you watch on Facebook and you don't get a little something going on inside of you whenever you see something like that, I mean, the kid got to pitch in a real game. How great is that?
That's awesome.
That kid, rest of his, and if you don't watch that, you don't get a little something feeling good about yourself. And that's where, where Florida is very lucky to have people like a Brian Tackett that come back and do great things. I don't give a damn if he ever wins another baseball game. If he's doing stuff like that, well, the kids are going to learn a lot more from that.
I'm pretty sure he probably cares.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, I'm sure. And you know what? I'm sure the players do too. Like, well, damn, we'd like to win a game too. But no, the main, they'll be fine. But the main thing that I like from that is just to see a local hometown boy come and do some good things. And I mean, he cares. He devotes his time. He's not making a lot of money. Anybody that's ever been in education or coached in any type of high school, you don't do it for the money. And he definitely doesn't. And to do something like this
right here, love.
Exactly. So I mean, that is just a very.
And that's
very
every coach.
thing.
That's every coach, Sammy. It's not Coach Tackett and Brian, a good friend of ours, but that's every coach in every level of education. They aren't making $10 million a year to be a school or even $10,000. They're there because they love the sport. They love teaching the sport, and this is the autism awareness game is one of the coolest things I see every year. They do it, and there's different things that different programs different schools do, but I just wanted to give Brian a shout out and Floor Wolves and say I'm proud of you and say thank you for doing that, and it's noticed everywhere.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very
so
cool.
One thing we did talk about, talking a little bit of baseball, was there's been a lot of beanballs lately in Major League Baseball, and you were saying earlier, how come the batter can't come back?
Yeah, this is what I want to throw out. Not everybody's into you're obviously into baseball. You got a lot of people watch this that are into baseball. I get bored with it. Except playoff time, I'll watch them. I don't care who's playing. I will watch them because there's something on the line. There's just too many games. That's my problem. Too many games, and it takes too long. And it's now, I think, it's almost like baseball is trying to do a good job of getting villains in the game, like a Bryce Harper. That's a villain. That's a heel in wrestling is what Bryce Harper is. He's great at it. The bat flip, the hair. He's Shawn Michaels all over is what he is. He is Shawn Michaels in a baseball uniform. So I watched some highlights and I'm like, okay, I watch this guy. So there's guys like that, and they're cocky, they're arrogant, and then, of course, pitchers don't like that. Unwritten rule, don't show up to pitch, all that stuff. You know what I say? If you don't want a bat flip, strike him out. Do your job. You don't have to worry about it. But then you come back, either you or your fellow pitcher buddy or whatever, or maybe the coach tells you, I don't know. He showed us up. So today, hit him with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball on the hip. Now, you do that in the street, you're going to jail for a couple of years. That's aggravated assault. I mean, that's battery right there. But they can do it there. But then the batter's supposed to just say, and just walk to first base like it's no big deal. No, here's what I say. You hit me with a weapon, which is a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. If you lose, okay, now here's the serious thing. You lose control with that. Yeah, they can throw wherever they want. But let's say you're really upset and you just rear back. Sometimes you know where that ball is going. Like when I pitched, I had no idea. So I just threw it.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it hit people. So I can throw a football through a keyhole, but I can't throw a baseball anywhere. So it makes no sense, I know. But you hit him in the ear, hit him in the eye, face, whatever. You break bones. I mean, could blind a guy. I mean, it's just stupid that they still allow that to go on. Yeah, I know they throw people out or whatever, but still. But my thought is, you hit me with a baseball, let the batter come at him with his bat, and let's see how that goes. I bet they stopped throwing fastballs at people then.
You remember Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura?
Oh, absolutely. He turned it around, didn't he? That didn't turn out real well for Robin.
Right.
Oh.
To me, that's going to bring fans in. So let it go. Let it go.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if you let the batter have okay, here's the thought. You want to sell ratings and get people to watch? Okay, let's say, how about this? If it's 0-0 after 5 innings, starting to get boring, okay, then let's get lower a cage down in the middle of the field and let the batter and pitcher just fight it out. And then if he wins, the batter gets to be on second place, like a 3-minute round. And then, but no, I just don't agree with that because you're going to hurt somebody. You're going to cost somebody a way to provide for the family. I just think it's stupid to bean people just because you couldn't do your job in the first place and get them out. Now, granted, somebody will say, well, if you hit a home run, if you just duck your head and run the base like you're supposed to, you don't have to worry about it. It's the people that do the bat flips and show off and take their time. I watched a guy.
I never bat flipped.
What's that?
I never bat flipped.
Oh, I did. Slow pitch softball. You're really something to get over the slow pitch softball. But anyway, there was a kid on the, I want to say it's the Phillies. There was a New York Mets pitcher that beamed him the night before, or there was something go through over his head twice. That's what it was. Threw over his head twice. And then, so then it was the same pitcher and the batter the next day. And he threw a fastball and that kid hit it bomb.
Yeah, Reese Hoskins.
Then took about a minute and a half to run around those bases. He took his sweet time rounding those bases. I'm like, there's one way to get back if you're a batter, I guess.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
you know, you never know. It's not going to change, but it'd be fun.
No, apparently not. Yeah, no. Apparently not.
All right, so last topic of the day. We're going to talk a little bit. It's getting to be almost Memorial Day here coming up, 1st of May. Great time of year. We will talk a little bit about summer food. I like to eat.
Don't we all? Yes, absolutely.
What is your favorite summer thing to eat? Because I'll tell you mine.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I like a big, juicy, fat broth.
Oh, okay.
With a little bit of mustard.
Okay.
Some onions.
Ooh.
Relish.
And
then just right down the middle. Love it. Love a good little broth.
Brat, you can't go wrong with a brat, and really, I'm a fan of anything. You know, if you're out like at a picnic or with your family or whatever, anything grilled. I mean, hell, it doesn't matter. Steak, chicken. You know, as long as it's grilled, because you can smell the grill. You know, you're standing around with a nice cold drink in your hand, adult beverage, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, always,
but,
always.
Yeah, always. So yeah, and you know what? It's just I think that's probably the best part of it. It's not necessarily the food for me. It's just to get out. You know, and be around people and be able to, you know, get together with your friends and
break that winter.
Oh, absolutely.
Being inside and caged up like an animal.
But yeah, a good brat, I agree. A good steak. I mean, you know.
You like a good wiener?
What's that?
You like a good wiener?
Not like you, apparently. But, so that time's a coming. Yeah,
it is. I'm excited for it too. I'm excited that summer to get here. It's getting nicer and nicer this spring. We actually are having a spring this year, which is nice. Yeah. So you know, it's fun. Hey, Sammy, thanks for joining us again this week here on Behind the Mic, episode 5. Hey, we're almost into second hand.
Ooh.
Next episode will be 6. I mean, I can't do 12.
6 for everybody watching at home. 6 normal size.
But episode 5, we're through 5. So hopefully we hear back from everybody.
Real quick, before we turn off, those that watched live, there weren't many of you, but some went back and watched it later, I suppose. There was a bet on the Masters Tiger Woods extravaganza. There was a bet. And I'm not going to let you forget that. So just remember that there was a bet of pie to the face.
I told you. Apple or cherry?
You know, a friend of mine told me it ought to be pecan, so it hurts a lot more when it hits your face.
Imagine that. Probably Blake Leathers, wasn't it?
It wasn't Blake Leathers, no. So yeah, a nice pie. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do it myself because I want the joy of watching it happen live. You know, when you're I can do it live, but it's still not the same as watching on video. So I think I'm going to give my honor to your wonderful wife, Lori, or maybe your kid. Maybe let Kendall do it and just splat you right in the face. So hopefully we'll see that coming one of these days. You're going to pay that bet. You're going to pay that bet one way or another. So
I see everything.
Yeah, but you also take a lot of naps too, so you can't.
I do. That's for certain. I do like naps. But hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Hey, let us know what your favorite summertime food is. Let us know if you have any comments about the NFL draft, about the NBA playoffs, if you even watch them, about the NHL playoffs, if you even watch them. I know some of you do. Some big Blues fans, and I know the Blackhawks this year. That's really sad on my part, actually. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are about the show. We're keeping it a little shorter for you now. So maybe you have a little bit more time to watch and kind of tune in. So we'll have another show hopefully next week, and we'll get going. Sammy, thank you as always for joining us. Thanks to my father, of course, downtown, the world heavyweight champion, a 2-time 5K finisher. Hey, I don't know if you knew that. I did a 5K this weekend.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, father and I finished with a better time. Yes. And we didn't finish last, so that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And the
Number
keyword
one,
and all
all
that.
that matters is two things. You finished and you didn't finish last. So
That's right. So I said the keyword and all that was finish.
That's right.
It was all the good preparation and Houlihan's with nice cold Bud Light.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
and it would be cool if one time for your wife if you'd finish last. Just once. I'm sure she'd be much
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What?
What did
What
I say? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate you. This has been Behind the Mic from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill. God bless everybody.